Today on People Now, Prince Harry joins his family in Canada. Could Harry and Meghan land their own show? We'll tell you what Netflix has in mind.
When she says, hey, honey, can you whip me up a little martini? And then I know.
Hollywood power couple Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson fill us in on keeping the spark alive on a perfect date night. Also today,
Chase and I dated.
What?
a pillow fight, a pool party, and some tough conversations. Our Bachelor Superfan expert panel is breaking things down as Peter's season heats up. Also today, everything we know about Tim Tebow's romantic wedding. Country star Dustin Lynch is here telling us how he's honoring his hometown with his latest album. It's all today, live on People Now. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to People Now. There we go. That's some energy. I'm holding things down here in New York while Jeremy is still in Los Angeles after the SAG Awards this weekend. Jeremy, don't tell me about the weather. I can't take it right now, but how is it going out there?
It's going good. You guys pumped in here? Can we hear it? Oh my God, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on this. Everybody's still asleep here, it turns out, because it was a long weekend at the SAGs, kind of slowly getting started. But yeah, no, having a great time. There's a lot to get to today. We start off with big news from a music legend. Ozzy Osbourne and his family are opening up about his ongoing health battle, including the revelation that he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It's a nervous system disorder that affects movement. Now on Tuesday, Ozzy, along with his wife Sharon Osbourne and his children Jack and Kelly, sat down with Good Morning America to discuss his harrowing year. Ozzy saying this, quote, "I did my last show New Year's Eve at the Forum. Then I had a bad fall. I had to have surgery on my neck, which screwed all my nerves." Now, the singer, who postponed the back end of his 2019 tour in April, went on to tell the outlet that he's now taking Parkinson's medication and nerve pills. Watch.
Coming from a working class background, I hate to let people down. I hate to not do my job. And so when I see my wife going to work, my kids going to work, everybody's doing it, trying to be helpful to me, that gets me down because I can't contribute to my family, you know. I'm a lot better now than I was last February. I was in a shocking state.
It's so touching to hear him speaking so honestly and earnestly, and Ozzy's family has been nothing but supportive. Kelly explaining her approach was, what can I do to make him smile? She says, I know going to the studio makes him happy. That's what I did. Everything else was him. And Jack, who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2012, would, quote, try to slip information to his father since he says that he could relate to his difficult situation. Sharon revealed that Ozzy's next step is heading to a professional in Switzerland. That's in April. And that professional specializes in what they say is getting your immune system at its peak. That's how they refer to it. Now, amid all of the uncertainty surrounding his health, Ozzy is eager to get back to music. He says about his fans, quote, they are my air. You know, I feel better. I've owned up to the fact that I have a case of Parkinson's, and I just hope they hang on and they're there for me because I need them. And we, of course, wish him and his family all the best during this difficult time. Now we move on to this. Prince Harry arriving in Canada Monday night to join Meghan Markle and baby Archie as they begin their new lives away from royal life. After his flight landed, Harry left the plane via a back staircase. He was photographed smiling and even carrying his own duffel bag. Can you believe it? He is, in fact, into normal person life now. The prince was escorted to a waiting SUV by security guards. Harry spent most of Monday at the UK Africa Investment Summit in London, where he spoke to British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and African leaders. The couple announced on January 8th that they would be stepping down from their senior royal duties and becoming financially independent. A royal source previously told People that the family of three is likely to spend most of their time in North America after the new agreement with the Queen. Meanwhile, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, appeared to be caught slightly off guard when she was asked about Harry and Meghan during a visit to a hospice. When asked if she would miss them, Camilla paused for a moment before answering with a smile. Watch.
Hello. Will you miss Harry and Meghan?
Of course.
Of course she will. Camilla was at the Prospect Hospice Swindon for the celebration of the organization's 40th anniversary. Now, while Prince Harry and Meghan are starting their new lives in Canada, they're going to need new jobs. Turns out it could be at Netflix. Netflix Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos says that the streaming service would be interested in working with the couple following their royal exit. At an event in LA on Sunday, the Press Association news agency reports that Sarandos responded to a question on the subject with, quote, who wouldn't be interested? Yes, sure. I think any executive would say that at this point, right? Any network or streaming service would love to have them. If Harry and Meghan were to strike up a deal with Netflix, it could be similar to the deal the Obamas made with the streaming platform back in 2018. It was also previously reported that Meghan had signed a voiceover deal with Disney to benefit the conservation charity Elephants Without Borders. According to the Sunday Times, that deal was signed before Meghan and Harry's bombshell announcement. And this all seems to be part of Harry and Meghan's plan to become, as they put it, financially independent, which will happen while balancing their time between the United Kingdom and North America. Let's move on to the Bachelor season in full swing. We all know that means a little bit of drama, or a whole lot of drama in this case. In a teaser for next week's episode, one contestant is in for a big surprise. Watch this.
I have a surprise for Victoria. We have our own private Chase Rice concert.
Oh my God. Chase and I dated.
Wait, what?
I can't do this.
Oh my gosh, can't wait to see how this whole thing plays out. It was only a matter of time before they had a performance from someone with romantic connections to the show, right? It's kind of an obvious thing. The episode comes months after Chase Rice teased his Bachelor cameo, revealing to People in November that he was, quote, involved more than I wanted to be involved. That's what he said. Speaking with People on the red carpet at the CMA Awards in Nashville, Chase elaborated by saying, quote, I wanted to go on there for the music. I wanted to go on there and play some songs. I talked to Dan and Shay and I was like, is it worth it? They said absolutely. He went on to add, then there was an extracurricular activity that I wasn't expecting. Although he didn't reveal exactly what took place, Chase explained that he knew some contestants on the show prior to taping. When People jokingly asked if he might end up engaged during Peter's season, Chase quickly clarified, absolutely not. I will not be engaged, and I will not be the next Bachelor. I can set that straight right now. So he cleared the air there. Stick around for our full Bachelor recap later in the show, including all the drama surrounding Alea. There's a lot to talk about. And we want to know your thoughts. Do you think that contestants should make their concerns about other contestants known, or should they just keep it to themselves? You can vote in our Burning People poll. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag #PeopleNow. We're going to check in on that a little bit later. But for now, we move on to this. No secret, I love me some Tom Hanks, but it was my co-host, Andrea Boehlke, who talked to him and his famous wife, Rita Wilson, on the silver carpet during Sunday's SAG Awards. Thoughts and prayers for me.
I'm so sorry, Jeremy. I know that you're so bummed, but I got him. But you got, Brad, Jennifer, you got a lot of good people. Well, I love talking to Tom Hanks. He was great. Well, Tom's having an amazing year with the success of his film, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So considering how busy he and Rita are, I wanted to know, what does a night off look like for them?
Sweatpants, a good movie on DVD.
Changed a little bit, right? We're happy to stay home on a date night because we go out so much. So it's really, really nice to just stay home, watch a great movie, stream something.
Here's where I know the night like that is going to be great. When she says, hey, honey, can you whip me up a little martini? And then I know.
There it is.
It's going to be a nice night.
Sounds like a perfect night for them. Jeremy, which moment stood out to you the most?
The moment that stood out from that interview the most was that just sounds like the most perfect night that I would like to also be there and partake in Tom making martinis. Tom Hanks, the bartender, yes. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, it really hit home for a lot of people because of how special Mr. Rogers was to kids while growing up. Loved the movie. And he explained to you, Andrea, why he thinks audiences have really taken to the story.
I think it was its lack of cynicism, which seems to be a default setting for an awful lot of public entertainment and a lot of discussion that goes on. And I think it was refreshing to an awful lot of people who don't get that very much.
So good. Andrea's so jealous. You have more for us in Star Treks.
All right, yes I do. We're kicking off Star Treks today with some major baby news. A lot of babies. Ashley Graham and Christina Milian both announced they had their babies over the weekend. Very excited for them. Ashley and her husband Justin Irvin welcomed a son on Saturday, their first child together. She announced the news via Instagram story, writing, at 6 p.m. on Saturday, our lives changed for the better. Now, no word on the name just yet. And Christina Milian shared an adorable black and white close-up of her newborn son, Isaiah, on Monday, captioning it in part, and so we begin. She added, the world is yours, son. What a cutie. Now, this is Christina's first child with her boyfriend, Matt Pecora. She also shares a daughter, Violet Madison, with her ex-husband, The Dream. When Christina stopped by our LA studios back in August, alongside her Falling in Love co-star, Adam Demos, she gave Jeremy and guest host Diana Falzone an update on how her pregnancy was going at the time.
Oh, it's going great. It's exciting. I'm so excited. Honestly, being pregnant with a boy, I mean, I have no morning sickness. Everything's been fine. My belly, even like I carry it different than a girl. It's kind of weird to explain all that, but
no, I get it.
But yeah,
I have a son.
having a boy is pretty awesome soon. Yeah, oh, you do? Okay. Yes, you know. Like, I don't know, something's different about it. I've had a girl. I have my beautiful daughter, Violet, and she's super excited. She's 9 years old, so I got a little mini mom on the side that's gonna help me out.
She'll be your little helper.
But we're excited. I'm starting to feel little kicks and flutters now.
I love hearing her talk about that. So sweet. And they aren't the only ones celebrating new bundles of joy. DJ Khaled announced on Instagram late Monday that he and his wife, Nicole Tuck, welcomed another one. I did not do a great job at that. He posted several pictures of himself waiting in the hospital. My favorite is the one where he is celebrating with the nurse. Very sweet, and he looks so overjoyed. This is DJ Khaled's second son with Nicole. All right, it turns out winners don't wear wrinkles. Jennifer Aniston is revealing how she kept that gorgeous Dior gown that she wore to the SAG Awards on Sunday night picture perfect, and admitted that doing so was harder than it looks. Jen shared a photo of herself on Instagram lying down in the back of a car as she headed out to the awards show on Sunday, smiling and flashing the peace sign at the camera, just chilling out. Jen also shared a photo of that drapey ivory gown that she paired with Fred Leighton jewels laid over a bathtub, along with the shoes that she wore that night and the statue that she won for her role as Alex Levy in the morning show. She captioned the picture, quote, "No wrinkles, harder than it looks. Somewhere between these two photos, my peers gave me a gift I will cherish and a night I will never forget." And she added, quote, "Thank you, SAG Awards, the morning show, and our incredible cast and crew, ready to begin on season 2. Let's get back to work." All right, Prince William and Kate Middleton held a reception at Buckingham Palace on Monday on behalf of Queen Elizabeth to mark the UK-Africa Investment Summit taking place in London. Kate wore the Aurora sequin gown by Needle and Thread in red. She completed the look with her signature bouncy blowout and matching red heels. And in his speech to the crowd, William offered some words about the couple's personal connection to the region. He said, "The African continent holds a very special place in my heart. It is the place that my father took my brother and me shortly after our mother died." William added, "When deciding where best to propose to Catherine, I could think of no more fitting place than Kenya to get down on one knee." It's very sweet. With William and Kate were Prince Edward and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, who was celebrating her 55th birthday. Edward, who is Prince Charles's younger brother, and his wife are considered full-time working senior royal family members, and they often take on official royal duties on behalf of the Queen. The palace reception saw the royals welcome heads of state and government, along with their spouses and partners, plus delegate members of the UK government and UK and African business figures. The reception came amid Prince Harry's exit as a senior member of the royal family. Earlier in the day, Harry did take part in meetings with leaders from 3 different African countries. And during the summit, he also privately met with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. We are going country with singer-songwriter Dustin Lynch, plus Tyler Perry, getting real about his Netflix debut, A Fall from Grace. Stick around for that. All right, let's get talking celeb relationships, shall we? Love this segment. It's all part of People Now's Heart Monitor. Look out. All right, starting with some wedding bells. Tim Tebow and Demi Lovato Peters are married. People has exclusively confirmed that the couple exchanged vows on Monday in an intimate sunset ceremony in Cape Town, South Africa. The traditional 30-minute ceremony included elements from both American and South African cultures and traditions. The color palette for the event was white, gold, green, and black. Tebow told People the night before the wedding that he was still putting the finishing touches on his vows, explaining that he wanted them to be perfect. He also told us that he'd been waiting his whole life for someone special and can't wait to see what their future holds, adding, quote, "All my dreams have come true. It was 100% worth the wait." Meanwhile, Nell Peters told us that she looked at about 50 dresses before deciding what she wanted. 50! Revealing that she was all over Pinterest in her research. Looks like she made the right choice because she looks absolutely stunning. They both look great. Congratulations to the happy couple. Amid trouble in Julianne Hough and Brooks Lykes' marriage, the NHL star is focused on learning more about his sexuality. So listen to this. Brooks opened up on his podcast, How Men Think, with musician Gavin DeGraw on Monday, confessing that he doesn't feel, quote, 100% fully expressed in his sexuality. So this is something that he talked about, and he actually said that he's now taking a pleasure-first approach to his life. He said this, quote, "People think that sexuality is just the act of sex, of just having sex, and there's so much more to it." Here's a question. This is an honest question for everybody in this room and every single person listening. Are you fully 100% fully expressed in your true sexuality? That was his quote. Let's all take a moment of silence, mull it over. Okay. Earlier this month, multiple sources confirmed to People that the couple had hit a rough patch in their marriage, and one source saying that Julianne and Brooks have been having problems for months. Sources say Julianne is very independent and a free spirit, and that's been tough for Brooks and their marriage. Another source adding the two are not giving up, but also not talking about their issues publicly. Fans have noticed Julianne without her wedding ring since December. She was also not wearing a ring when she stopped by People Now, and people noticed. Like Brooks, Julianne has been open about her sexuality. Speaking with Women's Health in 2019, she said she worried Brooks wouldn't understand her fluidity. She told the magazine, quote, "Is he going to love this version of me?" She didn't know. Earlier this month, Brooks posted a lengthy and possibly cryptic Instagram message saying in part, "In 2020, I look forward to releasing old identities and stepping into a new chapter in my life. I feel a new stage of life calling me, and though I don't exactly know what it is yet, it feels right and exciting." Of course, we wish them all the best on their journey. And guys, our Heart Monitor segments are usually about relationships, finding and being in love. But today, we wanted to use it a little differently to honor one little boy who is using his big heart to make a difference. 6-year-old Owen Colley from Massachusetts is doing his part to help Australian wildlife cope with the devastating wildfires, even though he is thousands of miles away. With the help of his mom, Caitlin, Owen has raised over $260,000 through his GoFundMe page. And here's how it all works. In exchange for a donation, Owen would make and give away clay koalas. Now, over 4,000 donors later, Owen unfortunately had to limit the number of clay koalas that he's making and sending out. One 6-year-old boy, he can only make so many, but the GoFundMe page is still accepting donations to the cause and says thank you to all those donors for, quote, helping a little boy do a big thing. Owen's mother told CNN that the idea to help started with a conversation about whether any animals had been hurt in those fires. And when she told her son yes, Owen drew a picture of a kangaroo, a koala, and a dingo in the rain, representing his hope that Australia would receive rain and relief very soon. They started by asking for contributions from friends and family to be donated to Wildlife Rescue South Coast Incorporated. It's a volunteer organization based in New South Wales that helps rescue, rehabilitate, and release wildlife. And it all grew from there. According to CNN, Owen lived in Australia when he was a toddler because his father grew up in Sydney. His mother says that Owen is very proud of the fact that he lived there, and we are so proud of him for giving back, doing great things. According to World Wildlife Fund, around 1.25 billion animals are estimated to have died in the fires, while thousands more are believed to be injured and homeless. All right. We move on for this, Andrea.
All right, now it's time for another edition of People Now Gone Country. Listen to this. That was Dustin Lynch's hot single, Riding Roads, from his 4th studio album, Tullahoma, which was just released on Friday. And we have Dustin joining us live. Hello. Nice to see you. It's been, I think, 3 years since I last had you on the show, so thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me back.
So let's talk about this album, Tullahoma. That's your hometown.
It is, yes.
Yeah, really exciting. So what were you like when you were younger, growing up in Tullahoma? What kind of adventures did you get into?
I was crazy. I was so blessed. My parents allowed me to dream big, do what I wanted to do. I was always outside, racing motocross, dirt bikes, on the water. I just getting muddy.
Yeah.
What kids do, right? And I just love the outdoors. I've grown to love the outdoors. My hometown of Tullahoma has 3 lakes within about 15 minutes of town. So we're a big water sport community.
Love it. That's kind of like, I grew up on Random Lake. That's the name of my town. Random Lake. It's a real town. We have a lake, so.
So you water ski as well?
No, I'm really bad at it.
No?
Yeah, no, I need to get up more. I need to practice it more. Let's talk about present day Dustin Lynch. So what's something you learned in 2019 that you're going to take with you into 2020?
Oh my gosh, a lot of things. List is long. I guess I'll give away one of my goals this year is to become a better communicator as a leader. You know, getting to this point in my career, I have a lot of people that are looking at me for direction, especially when it comes to touring.
Yeah.
We got a big touring family on the road. So, I've just learned how to communicate a little bit better, I guess, with those guys.
Yeah, so album coming out, which is really exciting.
Yes.
A lot of people loving the singles, Good Girl and Riding Roads. What's another favorite of yours that you're really excited for fans to hear?
There's a couple. I think Mama's House is a song that actually kicks the album off. It's a breakup song.
We love a good breakup song.
Not what you think when you hear Mama's House, but it is a breakup song. One of my first breakup songs I've ever done, put out. There's another one called Thinking About You that's really taken off for us. We've already seen it starting to resonate with fans. It's a duet I did with Lauren Elena.
Yeah, talk to me about that, because we love Lauren Elena. She's so fun.
I do too.
How did that collaboration come about, and what was your favorite thing about working with her?
We toured at the end of 2018, and I asked her to come sing a song with me each night, and I realized on stage, while we have a great chemistry, our voices were really well together. And so I set out to do a duet on this album if the song came along, and I wrote Think About You with her in mind, and thank God she liked it. And she agreed to sing on it.
She's so fun.
She is, yeah.
Yeah, she's such a blast. You also went public with your girlfriend, Kelly Seymour.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
When you were here 3 years ago, we were talking about you being single and what you were kind of looking for. Did she inspire any of the songs on the album?
Definitely so. I'm definitely writing songs from a different point than I ever have. You know, I think it's just natural, opening yourself up to someone. You know, as a songwriter, I have new things to draw from. You know, and new experiences and emotions to draw from.
Because you're in love.
Yeah, exactly. I've never felt before. So I feel like I have this whole new page of things to pull from when I continue to write songs.
Yeah, and you recently opened up about how you two met. You actually slid into her DMs.
That's right.
So what was the opening line? It actually works, apparently.
Believe it or not, that has come up before. We ended up digging in and actually scrolling back to see, and I simply said, hey, with a smiley face emoji.
Okay.
And then I followed it up with some pretty clever things, I guess.
Okay, what were the clever things?
I was on a very weird dinner date. It was a business date, and some weird situations happened, and I was just giving her the play-by-play of that.
Okay.
And it was just one of those standout things to where we kept talking about it, and chemistry started happening.
I love it. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You seem so happy.
Yeah.
She's so cute. You guys are really cute together. When you were here last time, you were talking about qualities you look for, and one of the things you said was you love a spontaneous person. So
Yes.
what's the most spontaneous thing that you two have done together?
Oh gosh, it's got to be our trips. Probably the most spontaneous thing we've done. I told her to pack a bag the night before we went on a 12-day excursion.
Okay.
And she had no idea where we were going. I just kind of told her the essentials she needed, and then we kind of bought things along the way to get her through.
Where did you go?
We went actually to Colorado and then Montana on a bunch of hiking trips. We hiked with wolves, which was incredible.
With wolves?
With wolves, yes.
What do you mean?
They're from a sanctuary, and you're leashed up to them, and you go where they tell you to go, I guess. Pretty
You
much.
actually follow the wolves?
Yes, yeah, you're walking with them.
Whoa.
Pretty intimidating.
That's incredible, though. And you have this life partner that's so interested in doing the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah. We love the outdoors. She's from a small town in Mississippi, lives in LA, so she loves to get away from the hustle and bustle of LA and get out in the open like I do.
Wow, hiking with wolves, that's my next thing
Put it
that
on
I
there.
want to do. Yeah. So the State Country Tour 2020 kicks off January 30th.
Yes.
Detroit. What are you most excited for fans to see with this tour?
Oh gosh, brand new album. So we're playing a lot of new songs. Me and the guys have been hard at work for the last few weeks putting this show together, and it's going to be a dance party. That's what we always try to do. We try to create an atmosphere where, you know, guys and girls can forget about real life, you know, and just come and be in the moment. That's what's so special about live music, is you bring strangers together, but we're all there for the same cause, and that's to make a memory together.
I love it. All right, before you go, we're going to learn more about you with a People Now Confess Sesh.
Okay.
All right, spill your deepest, darkest secrets.
I thought you grabbed the coffee mug.
No, I wish. I need some more coffee. All right, just pick a piece of paper out and read it.
Here we go. My go-to party trick or hidden talent.
Yeah, what is it?
Gosh, let me think here. Go-to party trick would have to be the bicep chug. Do you know what that is?
No, what is it?
It's some goofy way of drinking a drink that me and the band guys.
What does it look like?
Can I borrow your coffee mug?
Yes. Here you go.
Well, these are going to go everywhere. Can I pour these out?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
So you just take whatever drink you have, and this is kind of big.
Oh, okay. And then you chug that way.
If you're in a random spot, there you go.
So it's like.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just kind of like that.
If you're in a random spot and you see somebody drinking like that, you know they're ready to party.
All right, we have time for one more.
Okay, come on.
Now I'm gonna have to try that, the bicep chug. Okay.
The number one thing on my bucket list?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Gosh, that's tough. I've already checked off so many things. I would say to be able to go to a Spanish-speaking country and only speak Spanish.
Do you speak a little Spanish?
The whole time I'm there. I'm getting better.
Okay.
But no.
All right, well, start working on it.
I did in high school.
Okay.
And I've lost it all. So now I'm on my Duolingo app and it's working.
I have too. That's a great app.
Are you practicing?
Yeah, well, I need to get back into it. So maybe that's both of our goals.
Next time I come back, we'll just do this in
Sounds
Spanish.
good. All right. Nice to see you, Dustin. Thank you so much for stopping by. And everyone, make sure you check out his new album, Tullahoma. It's out now.
Most pubs have a football team, a darts team. This pub has a choir, always has, and we are the Choir of God.
Love this. The Choir of Man is a musical currently on tour in America. It's set in a pub, and one of the best things about it, free beer for the audience. Looks like a lot of fun. The show uses a mix of pop music covers and smart humor to tell its story, while also raising awareness around men's health, specifically their mental health. We sat down with 3 of the cast members, Tom Brandon, Mark Loveday, and Richard Locke, with Mark telling us how the show came about.
Our producers and director in London and Australia had an idea of putting a show with men in a pub. So they got together a motley group of, originally me and Tom were part of that group of singers, performers, actors, poets, with the idea of sort of celebrating pub culture, which is, I guess, a bigger part of life in the UK and Ireland and Europe than it is in America. We always see a pub as an extension of like our front room. So it's where you pop after work and have a drink and watch the football and chat. And so we created this show with 9 guys singing, dancing, playing instruments. And then the themes kind of grew out of it while performing. So the themes of community spaces, the themes of male brotherhood, male bonding, and also male mental health, which became a real kind of big driving point behind the show.
So mental health is a big theme of the show now, but that wasn't always the case. Tom explained what happened.
The mental health thing came organically as we did the show. But like we said, we started the show in 2016, and that wasn't really the message, well, not that we were aware of, the message that we were trying to hit home. And it's something that came organically, like I say, which is really beautiful. And you know, if our show can encourage people, encourage men to speak up and talk about their issues, then amazing.
They also revealed to us what they want audiences to take away from the Choir of Man.
Beer mats,
merchandise. No, I think that the message, I don't know if we have a specific message in the show. I mean, because it's a show that you can take what you want out of it. We're not preaching, we try not to do that. It's important that we don't stand up on a stage and preach stuff to you. But I think the message of the show is definitely, it's hard to put into like a sort of small sentence, but there's a lot of love. And we love doing the show, and it's something that's brought a lot of us together who we didn't know each other when we started, and we lived together, and we're falling in love with the show, and we're falling in love with each other. And we want the audience to kind of really see that and remember that, you know, the world's going through some really crazy times all over the place. We're all having a mad time. And that connecting with people, loving each other, and really kind of coming together is a really important thing that we see, or I personally think is a message people can take from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel good show. It's hard to guarantee things in life. You can guarantee tax, you can guarantee death. I feel confident guaranteeing that you'll feel better when you leave our theatre.
Of course, we couldn't let them go without giving us an exclusive performance. They sang an Irish folk song called The Parting Glass for us. Enjoy.
Of all the money that e'er I spent, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall.
So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
All the comrades that ever I've had are sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts there I've had would wish me one more day to stay.
The Choir of Man is currently on tour in the US, and for more information, visit thechoirofman.com.
All right, moving on to this. Tyler Perry takes Netflix. His new film, A Fall from Grace, is his first for the platform and is streaming right now. He and his co-stars spoke with our friend Rachel Smith in Las Vegas about the suspenseful thriller and why Tyler was so great at telling the story.
Grace, please tell me what happened. What did he do to you?
What a thrilling way to make your Netflix debut.
How cool is that, right?
So cool.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely Netflix worthy, so I'm excited about it.
It was the happiest time of my life. That's when everything I knew shattered.
Thank you for doing a movie in my favorite genre. I remember like in the 90s, all those good suspense thrillers, you couldn't guess the outcome.
Mhm.
We don't see them that much anymore.
Yeah, and you can't guess this one.
No,
You don't
no.
know this is coming, and that's attributed to the great acting that Crystal did, and Brisha Webb, Alicia Rashad, Cicely Tyson, McCott Brooks, they all just delivered.
You knew something and you didn't tell the police. That's a crime, right?
Tyler always brings diversity to his cast, always also empowering strong female leads.
I think that he likes women. I think that he understands women.
In all forms, from all ages, you know, because you get to see a woman of a certain age fall in love, be in love, be looked at as sexy. It's wonderful to watch as a young actress to see a woman still be desired in that way.
That's from where I was born, where I come from, a tribute to my mother, who was a very, very strong woman, but who had dealt with a lot of things. And every time I write a scene that is emotional or a character has a turning point or something they're going on, especially female character, I'm thinking about her all the time.
I'm not a champagne stealer. I just would never do that to someone. Why would I steal champagne?
This drama is just like taking over the house.
She puts on the pretty little princess facade and she's manipulating Peter. She'll get a rude awakening.
Wake up, bitches! The queen is back!
It's beginning to become very clear what their true colors are.
Somebody's not being genuine with me.
Like, I'm honestly scared. Everything about me is being cold and depression.
Tears, a lot of drama. Here to break down Monday night's episode of The Bachelor is writer and reporter Jody Guglielmi and singer and Bachelor fanatic Tennille Arts, who you may remember from this season's premiere. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Let's break this down. So first of all, Tennille, you performed for Peter and Madison's one-on-one date. That must have been very exciting. What was your vibe with the couple? I mean, how did you see this going down when you were there?
It was awesome, but I remember like finding out that she had this whole date before that was like meeting his entire family. I thought that was crazy. And then they all ended up coming back in to, you know, see my performance and everything. So it was a heavy first one-on-one date.
Yeah.
I was like, meet the family.
Are you team Maddie?
I love Maddie, yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. All right, let's break down this week's episode. Victoria P. scored a one-on-one date with Peter, and she really opened up about her troubled childhood. Her father passed away. Her mother had some substance abuse problems. Really sad, not an easy thing to discuss. Jody, how do you think this conversation really strengthened their bond?
You know, I think whenever you can open up about something you've been through, you're showing that person another side of yourself. And I think you're kind of letting them in on like your life and showing them who you are. And I think it shows what you're looking for in somebody else, and that only strengthens you.
Yeah, and she's just the sweetest person I think they've ever had on The Bachelor.
I love her so much.
She's like too good for the show, you know what I mean? Next up comes the group date. So Bachelor alum Demi shows up with an extreme pillow fight, because that's what us girls do, right?
Always.
When we get
Every
together.
weekend.
I honestly think that's what guys think that girls do when they have sleepovers. It's really not the case. I don't think I've ever had a pillow fight. But anyway, during the date, we heard Sydney express concern about Alea's authenticity. So then Peter puts her on the spot to clear the air. Let's take a look at this clip.
I want to just kind of squash this now.
Maybe Alea, like maybe you put on a little bit for just for the imagery of things.
I mean, does anybody else feel that way? I mean, we're all living together at this point, so I feel like everybody's kind of gotten to see me day in, day out.
I have a lot of thoughts here. Tennille, first of all, what do you make just in general of someone tattling on another person?
I mean, I think if it's coming from a good place, like if you honestly feel like somebody has done something wrong, then telling him is probably a good thing. But I think the whole like putting it on for the camera, I think everybody's doing that on the show, so.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. Like everyone does that, even if you're talking to somebody you like, sometimes your voice kind of goes up a few octaves.
Yeah. Well, especially in the beginning of a relationship, you present your best self.
Yeah.
So you're gonna kind of be, you know, at your highest level, which I guess could be putting it on. But I mean, that's just kind kind of what you do.
I mean, I was kind of Team Lea here. I think
I
that
was
maybe
too.
she's just, to Sydney, she's annoying. But I didn't really see any evidence of her being necessarily fake or manipulative. I just think Sydney doesn't like her, and so she put her on blast. But then Sydney got the group rose, which was probably really hard for Lea.
Yeah.
And, possibly, obviously, showing that Peter believes her. Then they had the pool party, and Peter's kind of investigating. And Victoria P says that she knew Lea before, but Lea told Victoria P to lie about them knowing each other. Are you following along? Well, obviously, you saw the episode, you are. But Jody, what do you make of kind of these new things coming forward?
Right. I think that is a little sketchy. I am also Team Lea. I don't think we've really seen anything that's overtly fake from her, but this does kind of cast a shadow of doubt. I think possibly with Hannah Brown and Kaylin's situation when they were like the two rival pageant girls, she didn't want a repeat of that. So, but that's kind of giving her the benefit of the doubt. But I think it's a little sketchy.
Maybe, but the thing is I could see lying about it because you don't want to get eliminated before you even get to try to get Peter's heart.
You're right, because they could be like, we've done this storyline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know just from Survivor too, like if past contestants know each other, you're usually eliminated, or one of you are. So I could see that, but it's just not a good look for Lea in this regard. But eventually she does get sent home, which I was kind of shocked about. Then she returns in the trailer. So what do you think of Lea coming back?
I'm so excited to see what happens. I mean, I don't think, has a contestant ever come back and stayed? I feel like they've always
we've had people come in like mid-season, like Nick Viall did on Kaylin's season, but I don't think I mean, I could be wrong, so check the records, but I don't think we've had anybody get eliminated and come back and stay.
Right.
But what I think is interesting about this, when I watched Peter struggle with this decision, I thought he was having some Luke P PTSD a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he was on a season with Hannah where all the guys were telling her, this guy's fake, this guy's fake. She didn't listen for the longest time. So I think maybe he's looking at this like, oh, I've really seen how this can play out.
Yeah, I think he's totally freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
they got in his head. He's freaking out. Because it's weird, he kept a lot of girls that he hasn't even had conversations with.
Totally,
Right? It's like,
yeah.
maybe you should take more of a chance on Lea, who you actually really like.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's one more week. Like, let it
exactly.
play out.
Another week to figure it out, you know? But thank you both for breaking this down. Before we go, though, Tennille, tell us about your new album.
I just released a brand new album called Love, Heartbreak, and Everything in Between, and it's actually a themed album. So the first 4 songs are love songs, then breakup songs, then everything else in life, and it's everything that I've been through over the past year. So I'm really excited to have it out.
That's very wonderful. And what kind of fan reaction did you get after you were on The Bachelor?
Oh my gosh, millions of people were, reaching out, listening to my music. It was so amazing, and I'm just so grateful that a lot of the listeners, and a lot of people who watch the show are country music listeners, which it's been so great.
That's great. Got some new fans out of it. Maybe we'll hear more music on The Bachelor someday, a repeat performance.
We'll have to see.
We'll see. All right, we're taking a look at our question of the day. We want to know if you think contestants should make their concerns known if they think someone isn't there for the right reasons. Although, is anyone there for the right reasons nowadays? People are saying share those concerns. I can see it. Also, when you're there, you don't have anything else to do. You're not on your phone. Nothing better to do but tattle.
I disagree. I think it's never fared well for people who tattle. Usually they kind of end up, it comes back to bite them. So I think keep it to yourself unless it's something really bad. And like, again, this wasn't really bad. So I think they maybe spoke too.
I just think Sydney could not help herself. She was annoyed at Lea and just had to tattle, but we'll see. Thank you, ladies. All right, we'll be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now. So tune in for that. Jody and Tennille, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree. It's too early to tattle. I think that needs to come way later. They're not established enough. Anyway, I've so many things that I would have been saying. We'll talk about it next week for The Bachelor. Coming up tomorrow, guys, she's a supermodel actress and the guest ringmaster for the Big Apple Circus. Christy Brinkley joins us live. Plus, BD Wong and Lori Tan Chen have all the deets on the new series that's inspired by actress Awkwafina's life. It's called Nora from Queens.
All right, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from this Glee alum. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Lea Michele, and this is One Last Thing. My last date night was 2 nights ago, and we went to this amazing restaurant in New York called Virginia's, and it was cozy and it was sweet, and we had the best time. The last song I had stuck in my head was my song, Christmas in New York. I know, it's crazy, but that's what it was. Christmas in New York. The last time I was starstruck was just a couple of days ago. I met my idol, my icon, my favorite person in the entire world, Alanis Morissette, and it was the greatest moment of my life.